Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
I'm sitting talking. There we go. Now we should be set to go. Sorry about that, folks, as I'm here going through these cars and nobody can hear me. We got Jimmy Pilot here in the number 29. I think that's a throwback there to Harvick, but I'm not sure. Chris Schossler and Darrell Waltrip scheme there. That tied. Used to run the number 10. Tonight it's running the number 61 for Chris Schossler. Now we head on down through the front stretch. Here we got about 20 seconds of qualifying left to go as we head on down through off of that front stretch. Across the stripe, he puts in his time. Liam Beebe still holding out on front with the 47.249. Hurst with a 47.260. And that looks to be about how that's going to wrap up for those 12 drivers. We've got more waiting in the wings, not qualifying, going to take whatever spot they get as a provision. We get set to roll here from Talladega tonight. Starting on pole is Liam Beebe in front. Johnny Hurst in second. Brian Hennings will roll off in third. James Wagoner fourth. Five is Ryan Hunter. Levi Williams there in sixth. Chris Ramsey there in seventh. Adam Sprinkle eighth. Jimmy Pollan there in ninth. Chris Schossler there in 10th. We got Mike Presley in 11th. Jake Brasilia there in 12th. In 13th tonight, that's going to be Nicholas Don Francisco. And Eric Copperthorne to his outside in 14th. Edward Fieldler rolls off tonight 15th with Tyler Manning in 16th. Stephen Lauder rolls off tonight 17th with Tim Richardson to his outside there in 18th. Back there in row number 10 on the inside in 19th position, that's going to be Jack Wilkinson with Jackson Miller to his outside, starting in 20th. In the next row, starting on the inside in 21st, that's Mike Straminsky with Wayne Isabel out there in 22nd. Gary Miller starting in 23rd tonight with Nathaniel Briner in 24th. 25th, that's going to be Matt Worrell. We get set, ready to rock and roll here from Talladega as everybody's lined up here on the front stretch waiting for the green light to go. Everything is set for the most part. Sounds like they're getting in gear as they get on ready to go down the front stretch. Everybody's on their feet, waiting for the start of the race. Lights are out. We're getting ready to go here. Levi Williams, it's showing him as cracked. Chris Ramsey showing him as cracked. I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that. Now you see Levi Ramsey, or Levi Williams there, Chris Ramsey there, back here. A lot of great looking cars. We'll see if we can get a few of them here as they take their pace laps. We got that number 2. Miller Light Machine. We're on board here. That is Tim Richardson out of North Wilkesboro. Jake Wagner here as well. Head on down that backstretch. Ryan Hunter and Jeff Gordon throwback there in that number 27. You've got another throwback out there in the actual 24 machine. Francisco. You got the 78 out there that's running a Richard Petty throwback. A McDonald's machine back there driven by Jack Wilson at number 20. Jimmy Johnson throwback here in the low, that number 6 machine. Skull Bandit, that's the number 34. Mike Kremensky. I'm trying to remember the Skull Bandit machine. But I do know that's a throwback as well. The pace car is down there on the apron. Get ready to turn these cars loose as we head here. 50 laps the distance around Talladega tonight. And here's the throwback to Terry Labonte out there as well. Up there on the high line, back here towards the back of the pack. Coming down through off the start at cut 40. I'm sorry, that throwback. Richard Petty back there. I might have to learn on some of these cars here. Number here. I'm not careful. Oh, careful there. Brian Hennings there in the 74. Getting pushed up there in the top there. In the middle lane. Levi Williams now trying to close that door on the bottom side as they go almost to the line. Williams trying to push it down there on the inside. There you see that 74 there. Brian Hennings gets it back down there. That would be 83 rather. Liam Beebe. Getting it down there to the inside in front. Right now, your leader is Johnny Hurst out there in the 3 machine. They roll down here off a turn number 2 across the start zone down here in the corner number 1 once again. 1 lap complete as they come across the stripe in the corner number 1. Side-by-side racing. Jason Wagner now up there in the second, up 2 spots from where he started. See if we got any big movers here in this early lap. And we got a couple. Number 8 there. That's the body paint machine of Eric Copperthorne moving through as he's up for position. Jack Wilson also up for spots. You see that up there on the high side as he's up there against that outside ball. It's storming here. Off at corner number 3 and 4. Back down here across that tri-oval. As they're heading down here, looking great so far. But that 74 there pushing to 61. Up Chris Schosler. Brian Hennings up there, trying to get something on that top side. Right behind him is Adam Sprinkle as well, and that's 77. Like we said, that's a throwback to Kel Warner. All right, so we're quiet apparently. All right, how's that? Is that any better there? As we got told we might have been yelling before. Let's hope that helps us out a little bit. They come here off the corner. Can everybody hear me okay now? Hopefully that works out now. Now we're getting some sound. That seems to be working. Now we head there. Okay, come back here. There we go. All right, off on the backstretch I go. Oh, the 24 up into the outside wall. He's loose and all over the place. He now gets it collected back up as he's rolling down the backstretch now. The 48, Jake Brasilia up 6 spots as he's up here in 6th. Driving that 48 machine, painted up like a Jimmy Johnson throwback. I believe there's one other throwback to him as well, somewhere in the pack. Now we go down that front straightaway down there through that tri-oval rather, down here. Across the stripe, Levi Williams leading the way. Johnny Hurst there second. Chris Schulzler there in third. James Wagner back in third. Now fourth, now back up in the third as he fights there on the bottom side, right behind the 3 of Johnny Hurst. Johnny Hurst trying to keep that car collected as they come down the backstretch. Oh boy, Brian Hennings gets squished up there against that outside wall. Got to be careful there as they work on down here off of the back straightaway in the corner number 3. Brian Hennings looking to see if he can get something to happen. There's Wagner. He's peeking there to the outside of the leader as they roll down here in the corner number 3 and 4. All right, as they come out of 4, back down the front stretch here on lap number 5, as everybody's here hanging tight. You got that 74 there up Brian Hennings, Jake Brasilia there in 7th, Adam Sprinkle there 8th, Ryan Hunter in 9th, Eric Copperthorne there in 10th, Jimmy Palarati there at 11th, Chris Ramsey in 12th. Tyler Manning there in 13th. Now he rolls up there in the 12th, and that number 78 machine painted like the king, Richard Petty, as he rolls there on the top side of the Speedway. Always great seeing these cars, and just wish we had a few more. Well, no, there is one Buick supposedly out there. There it is, of Nathaniel Briner, as Briner's running the Buick LeSabre here tonight. Otherwise, it's all between Ford and Chevy. We do have two Pontiac Grand Prix, though. One driven by the 74 of Brian Headings, and the other driven by Tyler Manning. They roll down here as we're on board here with Tyler Manning down here in the corner number 1 and 2, coming back onto that back stretch. You see him there as he rolls up there onto the back. Jake Brasilia up there in 4th, up 8 positions. Doing a great job. Matt Worrell and Gary Miller both doing a great job back here as we got the Hooters machine back there of Gary Miller as he works down there off of the corner down the front stretch. I see the 66 Gatorade machine there of Edward Fiedler. They work here off of 2, back down that back straightaway. You see that number 79 there of Matt Worrell as he works his way up through the field. Now up 10 spots. Jack Wilson up 7. Jake Brasilia up 8 as he's up here in 4th right now, working here off the corner. See that 27 of Ryan Hunter. He works down that front stretch. And own version of the throwback to Jeff Gordon as they work down here through the front stretch. Across the stripe, down here in the corner number 1. Lap number 9 on the board. Everybody's single filing out at the moment. Whoa, hang on to it there. The 01 of Levi Williams getting a little loose. As you see, the 78 now jump up there to the outside. He brought with him the number 61 of Chris Schosler. Schosler and him not being able to get too far. As you see that 98 machine for the Kellogg's sponsored Terry Labonte throwback of Eric Carpenter, and he's now working that bottom side. Would have been cool with these cars if somebody would have ran the Rainbow Warrior, but I know that probably wouldn't happen. But they got one of Gordon's schemes out there with the flames on it. Back in the 87s, though, whenever these cars ran, I believe that car was the Rainbow Warrior for Jeff Gordon, if my memory serves me okay. Whoa, up there against the outside wall goes the 44 of Mike Presley in that Toyota throw, or in that Home Depot throwback to Tony Stewart. Would have been cool if we would have seen the 44 Hot Wheels machine for that one. I roll down the backstretch. A couple different Jeff Gordon schemes out there, trying to see what else we got out there. There you see Mike Presley there in the number 44. Here comes Jackson Miller and the 36. That's the Kodak machine. Now we got a few more paint schemes back here as we see that 33 Skull Bandit machine. Or sorry, not 33, the 34 rather. Mike Stremensky. And that's where our Buick's kind of hanging out, too, is back here towards the back. Just trying to make it to the end. There you see the 29. Once again, a piling rowdy as he rolls around the bottom side. Everybody kind of single file, except for that Kodiak machine. Brian Hennings, as he's up there on the top side, rolling down here across the stripe. Great picture there. Now they head down across the stripe down here in the corner number 1 once again. Side by side, there you see them storming down here in the corner number 1. The cameras here tonight brought to you by Track Cams. You'll see their logo flashing up there throughout the sponsorship on the top right of your screen. Definitely thank them a great deal for putting in the time to put together some great cameras. And they roll down the backstretch here. The 78 there in that sheen for the King. Tyler Manning out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Rolling down that backstretch there, you see everybody out. Single file down there on the inside lane. Had Brian Headings up there on the outside as well, trying to push that 78 along. Jake Brasilia down there on the bottom side in that number 48. You got that 98 down there of Eric Copperthorne. They come rolling here off the corner. Everybody doing a great job as everybody single file right at the moment. Let's check in with the cars back here toward the back. You see the 36 there, Jackson Miller, Mike Shermensky, Wayne Isabel, Nathan Briner back here as well. Not sure why it just shook everything up there. Crazy. We know some of those drivers aren't out. I don't know why it's showing them as out, and I just showed them to you. Running back here towards the back. So not sure why SDK is doing that or iRacing's doing that. Not sure exactly which is to blame. And come here off of the corner. Tyler Manning there in third. Liam Beebe there in fourth. Brian Hennings there fifth. If somebody would just happen to know kind of why iRacing kind of cuts out after so many drivers for me, that'd be a great thing to know. Let us know here at Flicker Farm TV on the poll how we can pick out. Oh, man, up into that outside wall. Looks like Rowdy got a great piece of that along with Adam Sprinkle, but I'm unsure of that. I roll down the front stretch here. You see Adam Sprinkle there in that number 77. Down there on the inside, Ryan Hunter. And, oh, no, they are loose. They are skating down there across the bottom side. Caution is out. As you see, Ryan Hunter sliding on down through there. You got the 48 as well of Jake Persilia rolling on down through there. And it all started, I think, with somebody getting loose there through the tri-oval. We'll take a look at it here with the on-the-pole instant replay. As you see the two of them get together there. Looks like Persilia tries to straighten it back up. And he just goes skating on down through off that infield. You see that 48 trying just to hang on. The 27 put some gas to it, trying to keep it off that bottom side wall. He's going to end up spinning it around, but at least he saved the aerodynamics on that machine. So, first caution of the night here at Talladega happens here at lap number 15. A quarter of the way through the race tonight. Oh, no, over a quarter of the way, I guess. 12 and a half laps would be a quarter of the way. That's going to allow the guys toward the back like Mike Presley, Stephen Loader, Nathaniel Briner, all to catch back up to the front of the pack. They kind of lost the groove there, or lost the pack, that draft. Let's see if they can get back up here and try to battle. As we got the two Pontiacs out front. Tyler Manning and Brian Hennings out front leading with the Pontiacs. James Wagoner there in a fourth, there in third. Jack Wilkinson there in fifth. Eric Carpenthorne there in sixth. Levi Williams in seventh as they come there onto the pit road this time. If it's just a straight line going into the pits so far, that is exactly what we're seeing. Everybody makes it on the pit road. Pit road, a very busy place right now. I see them all come down through. Getting tired and that. Now, we got them all sitting there waiting for the race off pit road. Looks like we got the 26, or 36 rather, of Jackson Miller coming off. It'll be interesting to see exactly. And here comes the race off pit road. Everybody comes storming here off, trying to get figured out where they're going to be stacked up at. Brian Hennings there in second. Tyler Manning rolls off in first, it says. But the 36 of Jackson Miller out here coming around. Looks like he's got to slow up. I think he's got to let people around him. I'm unsure, though. He's not really up to speed. Here comes Tyler Manning up there on the high side. And yeah, Jackson Miller is going around, being driven around here. That Kodak machine slowly slides its way towards the back. Now, if he is a lap down, I'm going to be curious to see how they have this session set up. Do they have it set like the old 87 stock car racing, where lap down cars were to the inside? Your lead lap cars were on the outside, and your lap down cars were to the inside. Now, here in iRacing, we can kind of change the rules up a little bit, and we can go and put the lap down cars to the back. So that'll be interesting to see exactly if that is where Jackson Miller is. As I'm not sure what's going on with him, as he's behind everybody now. He needs to try to get caught back up here. And come across the stripe. Somebody coming out of pit road. That's the 23 there, Stephen Loader. That number 8 Budweiser machine. That might be what Jackson Miller is waiting on. And it looks like we are going to go side by side as normal with the lap down car to the back. I'm showing Jackson Miller as a lap down. We'll see if that is correct as they roll on through here. Stephen Loader trying to get caught up here. Hey, coming there through on the front stretch as everybody else coming down the back stretch. Now, see that number 44, Mike Presley rolling up there to the back of the pack, coming around the 36. He's going to jump down there onto the inside lane. There you see Stephen Loader coming up there, and now everybody will be up there for the grid. A field of 25 here tonight. Brian Hennings out there in front. James Wagoner, they're in 4th right now. The Pontiacs lead it as they come around here to get ready for the restart. And see that pace car rolls off. They're getting ready for that start. Down that front straightaway, down and through the tri-oval. That restart zone is in the tri-oval here at Talladega, unlike Daytona, where the start-finish line is in the tri-oval. The restart zone at Talladega is in the tri-oval. Now here they go, side by side. On the outside, you got at number 83. Well, no, I'm sorry, that's 74, Brian Henning. It doesn't look like the outside lane quite got the restart it was looking for. It kind of fell apart down there on the inside, though. You got that 3 there of Johnny Hurst pushing along the 83 of Liam Beebe. Here comes the 74 now of Brian Hennings as he drops down there to the inside lane. He's going to get single file there with the leader. Tyler Manning putting them Pontiacs back together out there up front. Coming there in third and fourth. You got James Wagoner in a Ford trying to hang on to it as he's up there on the outside all by himself. Here comes Brian Hennings now jumping back out there to the outside. They come down here through the tri-oval. Great pack racing going on so far as here comes that 77 of Adam Sprinkle up there on the outside lane. Going to end up getting blocked there. They roll down here into corner number 3 and 4. Whoa, what a move there by Wagoner. And Wagoner really chops it down in there behind Brian Hennings to get in front of that Tyler Manning 78 Pontiac. Now here comes Tyler Manning back on the bottom side as they come down the backstretch. Wagner stuck up there to the outside as well as Hennings. Hennings up there on the outside coming here through off of turn number 2. I'm sorry, that's turn number 4 as they're coming into the tri-oval. You see that McDonald's machine really got some big movers here right now. Matt Worrell in that number 79, who's driving in that Budweiser red and white painted machine. Up there on the high side right now, above the 20 of the McDonald's machine, rolling here off the corner. Everybody hanging on, as you see here from Matt Warhol, as Matt Warhol comes on down here in the, whoa, hang on to it. And hang on through. You see Wagoner still there in second. Tyler Manning there in third. Johnny Hurst there fourth. Liam Beebe fifth with Matt Warhol there in sixth. Up 19 positions from where he started as he's still clawing his way up there towards the front. That Budweiser painted machine. Down there on the inside lane is the 78 there of Tyler Manning as he's going to try to hold off the incoming assault from Matt Warhol, who is doing a great job up there on the top side. Whoa, hang on to it. Looked like we had the 0-1 of Levi Williams up there into that outside wall, coming there off out of the corner. Heading down here into corner number 3 and 4, down there on the inside. A lot of single file racing. As we know, got the 2 Jeff Gordon cars there together. You got the 27 of Ryan Hunter and Nicholas Francesco. As they work down through there. There you see the 24 sitting there in 16th. Ryan Hunter there in 15th. Both of them a tribute to a Jeff Gordon car at some point of his career. And they roll down the backstretch. You see that number 6 Lowe's machine. Everybody single file really trying to put it on here as we're coming shortly to halfway. As we're a lap and a half away from halfway. Coming here out of turn number 3 and 4. Heading back here towards that front stretch. Where you have them side by side. Down there on the inside is Wagner. Right in front of the 3 of Johnny Hurst. Tyler Manning there in third as we're on board with him. As he pushes along that number 74 of Headings. These Pontiacs are definitely something to mess with here tonight as they roll down here into the corner. Working off the corner down here in the backstretch. Wagner hanging on there to the bottom side. Hennings up there on the top side. He's got with him Manning and Sprinkle. They all kind of pick a lane there through turn 3 and 4. Bringing it back onto that front stretch. Lap number 24 of the 50 here tonight. Everybody doing a great job hanging these cars out and getting them running well. And we see everybody just storming down the front stretch here into corner number 1. There comes the 29 of Hyland, and he works here through the corner. You got the 24 there right behind the 20 of Jack Wilkinson. And that's the 24 there of Nicholas Don Francisco. And we got one slide through on the bottom. That looked to be Gary Miller in that Hooters machine, and he will take damage there to the back end of that car. And he struggles to get that thing pointed in the correct direction. As you see him up there against that outside wall. Then he comes down across and clips. Oh, no, he clips to 66 of Edward Fiedler. Up in the air, goes to 15, up and over and onto that passenger side. And then into the fence. Around he goes. That kind of disappeared on it. Edward Fiedler there in the 66, then comes up, and oh no, he collects the 0-1. As the 0-1 now loses its bumper as they skate down across. And he keeps it off of the 8. But those two almost come back together there as Levi Williams gets on the brakes, trying to keep it from getting in any more problems. As you see, that front damage is done there to Levi Williams' car. Tough break there for Levi Williams. Didn't even probably have anywhere to really go with it all. Gary Miller there on pit road. Levi Williams, as he's coming back out of the pits now after getting his car fixed up. And Wagoner out front, and Pontiac's still being strong as one sitting third, one sitting fifth. That's going to put them both on the inside lane. And it looks like Manning's staying out. Scholzler's going to stay out. Warhol's going to stay out. What strategy are they cooping up now? The lights are on that pace machine. Wait for everything to get going. I see Chris Schulzler there in second. Tyler Manning out front. Pit road became busy once again. All right, side by side, 3 laps to go. All right, here we are. Pace car getting set to pull off. All right, pace car off. We're coming to the restart zone. Who's it going to be as we get them rolling here? Tyler Manning up front. There goes the 78, getting a great restart out there on the outside lane, despite having older tires. Now everybody now come down here in the corner number 1. Side by side, Tyler Manning out front. You got Jack Wilkinson there in second. Both of them having a great night here as they are both up over 15 spots or 15 or more spots, I should say. As they head on down here into the corner, here comes the 24, Nicholas Don Francesco. Now look out, here comes the 61 of Chris Schultzer. He's firing back down there on the inside. Look good making a hit break into the top 10. That's that Buick of Nathaniel Briner, as he was caught quite a ways back there earlier on in the race. I think he was just trying to buy time. As now it's go time, as we're on board with Nathaniel coming down here into corner number 1 and 2. Off of the corner, down that backstretch there behind that 24 of Nicholas Don Francesco. Down through corner number 1 and 2 once again. If I didn't get turned around. No, I did get turned around. That's turn 4. Coming here off of turn 4. Now down that front straightaway. 20 laps to go as they cross the line. Coming here out of the trial with 20 laps to go. Hello. I got 20 laps here in this first one. Correct. Correct. All right, down here through in the corner number 1 once again. I come rolling here. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that was turn 4. That's 3, gets it close down there across the nose of the 6. I see them all fight for position. Whoa, hang on to it there. Johnny Hurst seemed to get a little loose there coming into corner number 1. As I work back out here onto the backstretch. Mike Straminski there in 6th in that number 34 machine. Matt Warhol, what a night for him as he is up 23 positions there in that number 79 machine. Getting down here, 18 laps to go. Soon be 17 as they come to the line this time around as they work out a 4. Down here into the tri-oval. And that's where a lot of these guys are going to try to make their move here tonight is through this tri-oval. You'll see where that kind of be where the final push comes into play. And we've had 2 cautions tonight. Oh, hang on to it. Wagner getting loose, hanging on to it, and it keeps it straight finally. As they roll down the backstretch there, you see the 29 up Piling Rowdy there behind them. Stephen Loader down there on the inside in 14th. Adam Sprinkle there in 15th. Working here off the corner, up into the outside wall. Once again goes the 01 of Levi Williams. Head on down through off the back. Gary Miller there in the 15, followed by the 44 of Mike Presley. Now the leaders are coming here off of turn number 2. Got to really hang on to it. There's the 74. Now Brian Hennings kind of got all kind of loose coming off of turn 2. Now they work here into 3 and 4. Now you got the 77 of Adam Sprinkle up into the outside wall. Working down through here, across the stripe. 15 laps to go to decide a winner here at Talladega. Side by side, you got the 24 there of Nicholas Don Francesco out there in front. Matt Warhol down there on the inside, not giving up. He's made it up here into the top. He's going to try to keep his way up there. And at 78 of Tyler Manning, he didn't stop for tires like everybody else. As they're 3 wide, you got that 79 of Matt Warhol there in the middle lane. And come here off the corner. Back to double foul as they work down here through off of the tri-oval. Now, catch that there is 3 wide there in areas. Here you see Wagoner working down through that front stretch. In the corner number 1. Right there below, that's the 61 of Chris Schulzler. And oh no, the 79, he ends up into the outside wall, and he looks like he's going around. Now he gets into the 27. He's going to collect him. As he comes back up onto the racetrack, he's going to lose it up into the outside wall. He goes around. As Ryan Hunter also goes around. Not sure if anybody else is collected. And Matt Warhol and Ryan Hunter go around. That all started with the 79. Not exactly sure what happened there with Matt Warhol. Take another look at it here. So they ended up, now we got to rewind a little bit to really see what happened. Because it looks like he got up there into the outside wall. Here, watch the 79 up there at the top of your screen. He gets up into the outside wall, ends up coming down, getting into the 6. They all stack up. He tries to bring it back up on track and then gets into the 27, who spins around down there on the inside, and then he loses it himself, goes around up there, and brings it back down across onto the apron. That'll bring out caution number 3 on the day. All right, get set to go here. They roll here off of the corner. Down here on the pit road they go. Johnny Hurst stays out. Pylan's going to stay out. Ramsey, he's going to stay out and brings Steven Loader with him. Everybody else coming down pit road. Matt Warhol coming off of pit road after he made his pit stop. .15 of Gary Miller getting a lap back. Taking a short commercial break, and we'll be back here in just a moment.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Back here at Talladega here for the Roughneck Racing. Dane Wagoner Welding out front. Super Speedway Series here tonight. And I think we only have a couple more. Maybe not. I forget how many races we have left here. I head on down here through off the back, or off the front stretch rather. All right, everybody side by side. Lights are out. Getting ready to go green flag. Which means we'll go green flag with 10 laps to go here at Talladega. Rowdy did a great job getting himself up here towards the front. Stephen Loader as well, as he's up 14 spots. Matt Warhol a lap down, it looks like now. Nathaniel Briner also towards the back once again. Green flag is out. They're down and away, getting on that loud pedal down here in the corner number 1. Goes Johnny Hurst in that number 3 machine, getting out to a great restart here. As you see, Pilot having to get down to the inside there behind Ramsey. That's going to open the door up there for that 24 of Nicholas Don Francesco up there at the top side to try to pull it up there. And here comes that 78 of Tyler Manning. One of the Pontiacs, the other Pontiac back through the field a little bit. That's 74 of Brian Hennings. He tried to work his way up there through the field and get back towards the front. As those Pontiacs, they were on fire here earlier tonight. Leading many laps there, or battling for the lead many laps anyway. 9 laps to go as they come out of the tri-oval here. As the leader is Johnny Hurst, but Nicholas Don Francesco's up there on the outside, being pushed along by Tyler Manning. They're battling for position. 9 laps to go. They head through turn number 2. Everybody side by side for the most part as they come back here off of the corner. Down that back straightaway. Everybody looking great. As you see, the 6 dive to the inside. Now they work down here in the corner number 3. Everybody working good. And up there on the outside at 74. Brian Hennings getting into that outside wall, trying to make some moves to get back up towards the front as he comes here off the corner. He's got James Wagoner there in front of him in that number 30 Folgers machine. As you see that 61, everybody spread out really wide coming there through the tri-oval. Now they head down here in the corner number 1 once again, get 3 wide there. Here comes Brian Hennings up here on the outside lane. Rowdy there on the bottom side. You got Wagner stuck in the middle. The 0-1 there. Where did he go? Levi Williams. He's found himself into the outside wall a few times, and now Hennings gets up there to the outside. Gotta watch it, as that 0-1 has had a tendency to climb the racetrack a little bit. Now they come here out of turn number 2, back onto that backstretch. Oh no, the 74 is up and over. That wasn't turn 2, that was turn 4. as Brian Hennings is up and over, skating on his roof now, sliding down here to the apron here in the middle of the tri-oval. And that'll be that for the 74 of Brian Hennings. Hopefully he's okay there. No broken arm or nothing. James Wagoner also involved, from what I could see. James Wagoner definitely got some damage here. See if we can see what happened here. James Wagner's up here on the top side. There you see the 74. Brian Hennings up there in front. And just as I said, keep an eye on that 01. A net code there between the 01 and the 74. Sends the 74 around. Gonna pit him the backwards. And then that is all Mother Nature wrote for that aerodynamics of that car as it flips up and over top of the 01, going to end up upside down. Look out as he disappears. Where did everybody go to? As James Wagoner, he's going to skate down. He's going to try to keep it together. Not sure exactly what happened there for Wagoner. See if we can see here. Oh, okay, Wagoner comes in, and all of a sudden, there you see the bump there. So he hit an invisible car. Wagoner hit an invisible car, and then he lost it up into the outside wall. Let's take a look at it there from his point of view. Now, this is on board with Wagoner coming here to the line. As you'll see, that 74 getting that coated around. Wagoner backing out of it, not sure where to go. He thinks he's going to be okay coming down, then all of a sudden he gets bumped. And it just gets him loose and up into the outside wall. So we'll get the green with about 4 laps to go, I would think. Johnny Hurst out there. We'll take another quick commercial break and be back in just a moment.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, back here at the track. Everybody's trying to figure out where they belong. Johnny Hurst out there in front. And you've got Nicholas Don Francisco out there on the outside. Matt Warhol, what a night there for him. He's gone all the way back up here in the 10th. Can he try to get something to happen here to get him back up here battling towards the front? As we saw, he ended up sideways and ended up almost upside down himself. Side to outside, 5 laps to go. Lights are out. Got to go green flag with 4 laps to go. Let's hope these drivers can kind of keep it together to try to get us down there to that white flag. On board a quick moment here with Johnny Hurst. Come down here towards the start-finish line. In the middle of the trial right at the moment. Green flag is in the air as they come there through the restart zone off the bottom. Here they go. Johnny Hurst getting a great restart. Here comes that 24, Nicholas Don Francisco up there on the outside lane, doing a great job getting rolling. Johnny Hurst having to jump up there to the top side to try to block that run. Now he dropped back down to the inside as Ramsey now gets a run down there on the inside lane. Coming there off of the back stretch now. 4 laps to go down here towards corner number 3. Up there on the outside is Nicholas Don Francisco out there in front now, leading the way down into corner number 3. That's Chris Ramsey fighting down there on the inside. You got that 78 there of Tyler Manning. Brian Hennings having troubles there as he is back here towards the back. Try to see where Matt Warhol is, as Matt Warhol is up 14 spots, currently sitting there in 11th. As they come back here off at the front stretch, heading into corner number 1. 3 laps to go with Johnny Hurst in the lead. Nicholas Don Francisco there in second on the top side as they work here off the corner. That 78 there of Tyler Manning trying to get up there and give a shove to the 24 as they work here off the corner. Whoa, hang on to it there, drivers. As you got a little bit of a stake going down that back straightaway. Now other drivers are dropping down there to the inside. Going to try to get it up there, and look out. Here comes that number 79, Warhol down there on the inside, and look out, the 6 going into the middle. Sucker hole. Now he gets around the 78, and that's going to bring him up a couple positions. He now battles there for the 3rd spot as he works his way up there towards the front of the racetrack, right there behind Nicholas Don Francisco as they work down here in the corner number 1. 2 laps to go as they work here in the corner number 2. Side by side, hang on to it. Watch that net code there, as it's already bitten a couple drivers here tonight. Don't really want to see it bite anymore. As they come here off at corner number 2 down that back straightaway. Nicholas Don Francisco out there in front. Ribbon along there on the outside by the 6 of Wayne Isabel. And come here off the corner number 4, back out here towards that front straightaway. Just a little bit farther than anything goes. This is where last lap. And they're already wrecking. That's going to bring out the caution here. I believe as its final lap, the whole front of the pack is gone. Who's making it through? Nicholas Don Francisco up here towards the front. Ryan Hunter out there in front. Mike Straminski there in second. I would have thought caution would come out, but it did not. Here comes the 01 of Levi Williams, and he comes around the 24 of Nicholas Don Francisco. And look out, Mike Straminski now making a run for it down there on the inside lane as they come here out of the corner number 3. Coming in through 4, that Skoll Bandit machine. Running here for the line, running for all he's got. Levi Williams trying to stay ahead of Don Francisco. Erkin here through the trial, down across here, now across the stripe. Here comes the 27, trying to make one last ditch effort. Cannot, as the 34 ends up into the outside wall, flipping him around. There he goes. He's up and over, up into the outside wall, blown up there at the end of this one. Ryan Hunter there in second. Nicholas. Well, that's a way to end it there. Ryan, not sure if you meant to be in the fence, but you are in the fence. I've got Nicholas Don Francisco down there for third. Levi Williams there fourth. Not sure exactly what happened there to Levi Williams. We'll see if we can get a hold of something coming across the line here. And it looks like the 24 got one heck of a run coming there off the tri-oval and come there across the top. Levi then tries to miss the chaos. Skates up and, oh, he's the one that put the 27 up into the fence. Ryan Hunter ended up into the fence up here. All right, here we go. We got to figure out who's got what here at the end of this one. Your race results. Mike Streminsky out there in front. Ryan Hunter there second. Nicholas Don Francesco there in third. Levi Williams fourth. Johnny Hurst there in fifth. Jake Jackson Miller there in sixth. Chris Ramsey seventh. Jimmy there in eighth. Wayne Isabel in ninth. Matt Warhol there in 10th. Tim Richardson 11th. Mike Presley in 12th. Liam Beebe there in 13th. Stephen Loader there in 14th. You got Eric Copperthorne there in 15th. Chris Schosler in 16th. Tyler Manning 17th. 18th tonight is going to go to Gary Miller with James Wagoner finishing in 19th. Adam Springfield 20th. Edward Fieldler there in 21st. Brian Hennings there in 22nd. Nathaniel Briner there in 23rd. Jack Wilkinson there in 24th. And Jake Priscilla ends out your field here tonight in 25th. All right, what a finish that was. Yeah, I don't know why the ticker went early to the checkered flag. I'm unsure of that. That was the first that's ever done that to me. See who we have here. Mike Streminsky. Good evening, Mike. How's it going?
Hey.
We're here in Victory Lane with you. That was some craziness there at that last lap.
Yeah, right. Everybody wrecked, and it catapulted me to second. And then I got a run on, I forget who was in front of me, got a run on him, and then he come back around at the finish line, and I think it took us both out.
I'm unsure. I know there was a big pile coming there to the white flag. I thought maybe there'd be a caution, but apparently it said you guys were close enough to the line to consider it to finish. So,
Yep.
But you
Yeah,
made
it's all
it
good.
through. I don't know who all was kind of taken back by that there coming to the white flag, but lots happened. How was your night otherwise, though?
This car's kind of sketchy for me, so I just hung around in the back, and my teammate, he got up there in the front, and I'm supposed to give a shout out to our team, Hot Shot Racing, Hot Shot Motorsports. My teammate, he got up there in the front, and he got took out in that big wreck, which allowed me to get up to the front. So I'm thanking him for that.
Well, you started back 20 positions behind where you finished, so you must be feeling pretty good that you're able to stay out of trouble and get that car to move up through the field.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, who's your sponsors and shout-outs you want to give here tonight?
Hang on, I'm spinning out again. Hang on a second. I got all kinds of noises. All right, say that again.
I said, who's your shout-outs, sponsors and shout-outs you want to give here tonight?
I'd like to thank my lovely wife who sits in the room with me while I'm racing, and my dog, and my my new race team. I forgot the name of it again. Hot Shot Motorsports. Hot Shot Motorsports. Sorry, I'm overwhelmed with joy from winning.
I'm sure getting that victory really says something here.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Well, you enjoy that victory here in Victory Lane, and hopefully we'll see you in future races.
For sure. Thanks to Roughneck Racing for putting this on. Appreciate the practice this weekend. That sure does help. And thanks.
All righty. Once again, congrats, and you have yourself a great night and enjoy that victory.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to top the bottom here tonight. We're going to go our second place finisher here, Ryan Hunter. How you doing?
Better now that I'm not stuck on the fence.
Better now that you're not. Yeah, you had that thing pretty stuck on the fence. Quite a hard time there.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. That's a first for me.
Yeah, it's called a catch fence for a reason. It did definitely play catch tonight.
It did. Thank God.
It just didn't want to give you up.
Well, hey, I'll take it.
You still got second by everything that I'm seeing here, so congrats on that. And a wild finish here at Talladega for the 87 Grand National cars.
That's the understatement of the year. I don't know how I made it through all of that. I saw smoke. I saw parts of cars that I shouldn't be seeing while I'm driving. And then I saw a wide open track, so I just went with it.
It's like the sea parted, right?
Yeah.
Man, that was some finish, and I'm sure you're happy that it's finally over. You came out with second, so that must feel pretty good. You got sponsors and shout-outs you want to give here tonight for helping you get up there into that podium spot?
First and foremost, James Wagoner Welding. Appreciate that. The league that these guys put on are just phenomenal. All the other racers are great drivers, great racers, great sports. I just look forward to each and every week, and this was actually one of the races that I was most terrified to take part in. So I'm very happy with second place.
All right. Well, you had some possibly unwanted help, but you got help either way, and congrats on getting second place here, and hopefully we'll see you around in future races.
Oh, I'll be here.
All righty. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, Nick.
Let's go racing, boys!
Yeah, there, Nick?
Yeah, I'm here. What up?
Not a whole lot. Some finish there. I mean, you got third out of the whole deal.
Yeah, I was leading the race coming with a white flag, though. So, we're kind of bummed we didn't get the win, but I'll take third.
Well, I would say just finishing after that craziness there when you guys were coming to the white flag is a plus.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if you knew all the craziness that was going on behind you.
Yeah, I was hoping to stay out of it, but the three caught me, so it's all good. No hard feelings. Brought the car home in one piece, so
that's true. So congrats for third place tonight. Hopefully we'll see it coming forth in other races as well. And it looked like you had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, we were mid-pack most of the race, and then we got a caution. I don't even know what lap it was, but the caution flipped the field, and we picked the track position, and we were able to keep it there for the rest of the race. And yeah, we made the most of it.
All right. Well, sounds great. And you got sponsors or shout-outs you want to give for helping you get into third place tonight?
I want to thank my pit crew for all the hard work on pit roads. But other than that, not really.
All righty. Well, congrats there for your third place. And we'll see you in future races, I'm sure. It looked like you guys were all having fun out there. That is until kind of last lap mayhem. But, I mean, what do you expect here at Talladega?
Mayhem. Chaos.
Well, congrats there for third and making it out in one piece.
I appreciate it.
All right, that was Nicholas, our third place finisher, after all the mayhem there on the last lap. And hopefully everybody enjoyed the race. We'll see you later on tonight here at On the Pole on Fleeger Farm TV, as we'll take on the GT3s. I'm not sure where we're at with that with the Freedom Motorsport Alliance. But before that happens, I must get myself something to eat and drink here in the booth. So thank you all for watching this episode as we took on the... There's still no audio. There should be audio. Somebody give me a hard time. All right. So we'll hopefully everything turns out okay. Well, yeah, she'll be working. All right. Congrats to everybody here tonight for getting their wins, and otherwise, congrats all. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful, great evening.
I feel like I'm afraid to say how I feel, to know I let you down. 'Cause late nights turn to days, don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing